Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. It's a new day. A new day, a new week. And I wish you all happiness and success. Can you all hear me? Microphone check. Thumbs up if you all can hear me. If you all can hear me, microphone check. That would be appreciated. Let's get that out of the way first. Thirsty. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. You can share the link with your family, your friends. That would be much appreciated. So, as I said, I wanted to test the audio first. So if there are any challenges, you all let me know immediately. So do let me know that as soon as possible. See your comments, and I will be diving in. And I know you all will have some opinions about Jamaican football and your views about the different squads, men and women. And I know you'll have your varying thoughts about Coach Paul Hall, Lauren Donaldson, and others. So I understand. I understand exactly what you are referring to. And that is understandable. Thumbs up means it's good. Okay. So with that being said, that means that the audio is good. Javon plays. Jeff Nicholson. Dam will care. Big deal then. Javon plays again. Jeff Nicholson again. Javon plays again. Shane Rodney again. Dr. Joyful. Shane Rodney again. You all and others are to be commended because of the loyalty that you have shown towards Jamaican football in terms of your patriotism, your zeal, enthusiasm for football. And that is something to be tremendously commended. So I applaud you all for that. I really, really do. So that is good. That is something that we'll have to look at. So that's where things are at the moment. So you guys know what this is, right? With this, you're powerful. You can travel to 65 countries without a visa with this. 65 countries you can travel to in the world without a visa with this passport. Remember it? I know this is the one that you see right now is the one with CARICOM on it, but this is my first passport and this is the way that it looked. So for any doubts, for anyone, I am a Jamaican, born and raised in this country, third generation Jamaican. This is what you get. Joseph Brown, good morning to you, sir. Giovanni, John Powell. John Powell, how are you? I am doing well, thank you. And I hope you are as well. And I know we will touch on in the future regarding this and where we can travel to as Jamaicans without a visa, you could say. So we're going to touch on this. And I know you see the title of this video. So that is something that will be looked at as well. So let's get right into the point. According to team manager of the Reggae Boys, Roy Simpson, Demarai Gray's application has not been submitted. So we should not be expecting Demarai Gray in national colors in 2022. That is just the cold hard facts about the matter. It is what it is. Why is that the case? Well, you can point to a number of reasons for this. And one reason that you can point to is a lack of accountability. And you can even say that it's on both ends, because as I've often mentioned, you know, even with COVID, that the World Cup qualifiers were going to be in 2021. 2020 was a difficult year. I think people didn't know what to do. It was like the guinea pig year for COVID. Passport process were a bit slow, but in 2021, even before the game against the United States and Austria, there could have very well been an opportunity where the passports, the documents, even the citizenship at this stage could have been accomplished before getting the hands on this. Because once the citizenship has been accomplished, then this flows like a river. And that's the way it is. That's how it is, you know. And then the Demarai Gray side of things, you can also show some accountability there as well. Why? Something that I've learned, perhaps, is that in a relationship, whatever relationship it is, it has to be fluid. It can never be forced. Whether it is a marriage, a courtship, a player and administrator relationship, regardless of the type of relationship that it is, it has to be passive. And what do I mean by passive? You have to let it flow. One side cannot be putting 100% of the effort and the other side is doing nothing. It can't happen. That is something that needs to be avoided at all costs. Imagine a situation where a man is taking out a young lady, doing all these nice things, they're going out to dinner, all of these attractions. And in return, what is he reciprocated with? If he's not getting even a percentage of that effort in return, it doesn't make any sense, does it? It doesn't. So what does Demarai Gray need to do? Show commitment is one aspect to it. And I feel that for some players, if they're really interested, they'll make the effort. Some, like I've mentioned to you in the past, they need to know the process about, okay, what document do I need to get? Is it only the birth certificate? Is it something else? Is it easier to go through the London High Commission, or is it easier for me to come to Jamaica during the post season, the end of the season, and just go to Pika, Constant Spring Road, and just sort it out? So that's something that we'll have to consider. Yeah. Javon Davis says, good morning. Javon Place says, Javon Place says, not gonna lie, we don't even have a coach. I wasn't thinking about Gray. Demarai Gray. But if you guys do have questions, go ahead and let me know. Questions in relation to the national team, men's team, women's team, under 20, under 17, coaching staff, and if you get this video, if you get 100 people to watch this video, then I will provide an update on Paul Hall. Get 100 people minimum to tune into this video. We're now at, I think, 41, 40. So if 100 people tune into this video, then an update on Paul Hall is incoming. Tell me what you all say about that. But what I can say is there's certainly things to discuss. That Adidas deal, what is to come, some news that will be coming out of the JFF at some point later this week. There will be some things to be highlighted. What are your thoughts on the botched under-20 campaign? Okay. Jamaica was in a group with Antigua and Barbuda, Honduras, and Costa Rica. Not only did all three of those teams begin preparation before Jamaica, but all three teams were in Honduras prior to the competition before Jamaica. So they had more time to adjust to the surfaces, the conditions, the food, the language, everything. Now, this is not the first time that something of this nature is happening. But you can imagine what 2, 3 more training sessions on that surface might have been able to accomplish, what Coach Marcel Fazigale could have been able to do. That's something that could have been considered. And that is an area that has to be highlighted. You have to think about why. We can say everything we'd like about, the cost of flights, and that is true. Airfare is not cheap. Even if you're going down the road to the Cayman Islands, it is not cheap. That is true. But what's the point in being in football if you're going to turn a blind eye to the expenses that comes with it? It's the people's game. That is what football is. A game for the working class. That's exactly what football is. Of course, a quarterfinals exit is disappointing. Being on the cusp of the first under-20 World Cup qualification since 2001, 21 years ago. There were some positives to take, especially from the overseas-based players from that squad, and they should be commended for their performances, because this is the first time in a long time that many at under-20 level have been given the opportunity. Because if you go back in time, the last 2 decades. As you know, Joel Grant was the last one to make it into a final road squad. So Boyce Clark, the goalkeeper from Reading, Bradley Morgan, Dexter from Wolves, Jamari Clark, Tyler Roberts. Kudos to you guys for making the trip. Zion Scarlett as well. Big, 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 massive kudos as well. It was amazing to have them come over. And I'm happy for that. Kobe Thomas as well. Xander Bicknell, Chad James, Malachi Douglas. It was great to see them. And big up to those that came on the island for the training camps as well, because many of them came on the island for training camps. Did make the final squad for Honduras, but many came for those training camps before that came from overseas. So, you know, they didn't have to. They could have said, well, why can't I be in the final squad? They came and tried to work for their spot in the final squad, and they weren't in the best 2023. Fine, so be it. The 100 people watching the live. And you'll see. And you all will. I don't know. Omar Richards, Nottingham Forest. As we all know, he was at Reading. Spent some time at the club with when Gareth McClare was there. Didn't play a whole lot with Bayern Munich. Only a handful of appearances there, but you know, he was part of the team that won the Bundesliga and the Super Cup and all of those things. So, hello, Tiffany Cameron. I hope you're doing well. And I hope that you are. Tiffany Cameron has started off life this season in the Hungarian Premier League on a great note, guys. 3 goals, 2 assists in 1 game. Talk about lethal, talk about prolific. Oh, don't let me get started in this video about this one. Everything in time. But Jamaica's most informed reggae girl of the 2021-2022 season has picked up where she left off. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it right there. Romoy reads a story about Man United. Will Paul Hall get the job? 100 people to tune into this live. And you all will know. Javon says, personally, I would like to see Jamari Clark and Boyce Clark in the national setup immediately. I think that they have quality. Jamari, Boyce Clark, absolutely, because you need somebody that can continue to learn from the best. I believe when you have a national team, the senior national team, that is, you need an element of youth that can learn, because that experience right there is not going to be there for 4, 5, 6 cycles of World Cup qualifying. So you're going to need to have a Boyce Clark to be an understudy towards Andre Blake, learn a couple of tips on the trade, perhaps bond with Amal Knight as well, and then eventually hone his craft. And if he hones his craft to a point and stays grounded, then eventually be Jamaica's #1. So let's see. Let's see, shall we? Roy Reid said you'd rather give Omar Hutchison the chance than Gray. If I'm being completely frank with you, I would have to agree with you in relation to this point. Omari is younger, hungrier, and I feel that there is a lot of great things happening at this point in time. The move to Chelsea, he's buzzing, excited. Whereas this Demari, where things are not in the best right now at Everton, I'm not sure of his headspace right now as well. And, you know, the situation with his son and the relationship between his son's mother, that's something to consider as well. I'm not sure if it's 100%, but you can't ignore the intangibles. You can't. The intangibles are something so important. And this is why sometimes you have to ask people, how are you? How are you doing? Are you well? And I wish you happiness, success, and things will fall into place in due time. Tell them little things, encouraging messages, and I think that will certainly help for sure. Tiffany Cameron, big up. Simon, any links with Rico Lewis at Man City? It looks promising, man. He's a right back at City. I know you have links in the Mank area. I will make a couple of calls. Yeah. I will find out the situation with. Certainly. I'll find out the situation with Rico Lewis and let you know. But what I can confirm is the paternal side of the family with the Jamaican heritage, 17-year-old defender. Is he ready for the senior reggae boys right now? No. But does he deserve to be an individual that can be in and around a squad, a training squad of 30, 40 players? Yeah, absolutely. Progressed through the Man City youth team to the under 18s and now to the 21s right now. He's under contract with them until 2024 and has Jamaican heritage. So that is the latest right now where Rico is concerned. Toffee Roddy says, how are you doing? I am doing well, thank you. And it's good to hear from you. Reno FC says, what happened to the alligator? The alligator? What are you talking about? That's Adrian Mariapa's kids right there. Yeah. It is, isn't it? But yeah. What's the situation with Raheem Harper? At this point in time, where Raheem Harper is concerned is the 22-year-old who plays for Ipswich would be open to the chance, opportunity to play for Jamaica. But there has not been anybody that has reached out to him. He has represented England at under 17 and also at under 18 level, but he has never represented a country beyond that level. West Bromwich Albion Young Player of the Year in the 2018-2019 season as well. So he's an individual that carries quite a bit of, not experience, but he has a couple of feathers in his cap from youth football. So that is good. Mr. Blake had to do surgery quite recently and in good spirits, and I will certainly send him your regards for sure. Toffee, Roddy. What are your thoughts on the Curry Goats mini tournament in Austria? I wouldn't call it that. I've always been consistent with you guys. And the truth is that I will continue to do that and be consistent. So, with World Cup qualifying not in the picture for another year and a half, friendlies for me are irrelevant right now. I'm looking at the performance, not the result. So even if Jamaica goes to Austria and gets 5 from Morocco and gets 6 from Ghana. For me, it's not about the result. And 10 from Qatar. For me, it's not about the result. It's about the performance. Who has held up their hand? Who has held up their hand to say that I am ready to be a national player and be in the pool for the Gold Cup and Nations League and beyond? Who is going to hold up our hand and say, I'm going to be Jamaica's next Tapa? I'm going to be Jamaica's next Andre Blake. I'm going to be Jamaica's next Agent Mariapa. Who is going to hold up their hand and say that? So, for me, results at this stage are irrelevant. You're free to disagree, because I know the first thing off the top of a lot of people's mind will be in relation to the FIFA rankings. And you're correct, because that is so important. That will determine seedings for the Gold Cup and also the next set of the World Cup qualifying for the 2026 cycle. So this is something that can't be ignored at all. But I believe even if Jamaica ends up in a group of death at the Gold Cup next year with USA, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Grenada, and of course, top 2 advances to the next round. Well, guess what? We're going to have to beat the best to be the best at some stage. And that is something that I will address at some point as well. So that's something to be mindful of and be wary of. So just process that just for a moment. Just for a moment. Yeah. Think about that. And let me know how you feel. And yeah, please tell me. Ian Campbell says, good morning. How are you? I am a little bit tired, but apart from that, I'm grateful to see another day. I am grateful. I am thankful. I am alive. I have my mother, so I am well, because my mother is the reason why I am where I am today. In a positive sense, of course. The young man that I've turned out to be is as a result of my mother. I was raised as a gentleman. A lot of people say Simon is tall but soft-spoken. It's my nature. And I was taught to be respectful at all times. That is how I've always been, and that is how I will intend to be. That's my style, and everything like that. So that is me. You know? So I'm grateful for my mother, Claudette Mayhew, for all that she has done for me. And I know she's watching. Hello, Mother. Yeah. Ramoy Reed. If we have a mindset for the next 4 years, then call him. He may not be ready, but in 4 years he will be ready and used to coming to the island setup. Well, let's do this well, you said. In relation to which player are you referring to here, please make it clear as well in the comments which player you're referring to, since we've spoken about a number of players in the last half an hour or so. Richard King is supposed to go overseas, but there's nothing concrete at this point in time. It's got personal terms to be improved on. Would any of the under-20s be released for both games? To be honest with you, it's highly unlikely that both. But I do agree with you that that would help in the chemistry and cohesion. But no, don't expect any of the under-20s to release for those games. Simon, what would you like to see improve in our national teams on both the women's and men's side? Well, my gentlemen, so ladies first. So on the women's side, let's begin there. Because I believe that they're doing things a little bit better than the men. And that's in relation to getting passports for players. I think that is a better job. In terms of social media, the Reggae Girls Foundation that does an absolutely fantastic job in highlighting every single Jamaican footballer and how they're doing with their clubs. And I think that is brilliant. That is fantastic. And that is something that needs to be commended. It really does. It really has to be. And in terms of improvement, I think communication. Communication between coaching staff and players is going to be a huge aspect moving forward. Because coming into Australia and New Zealand next year, only 23 young ladies can make the plane. So you know what that means. You're going to have some that are going to miss out, not due to injury, but it could be down to personal preference of coach. So it's important that the coaching staff lets the player know the reason why or why not they're not in the squad. And if you keep that healthy communication and let them feel important and valued, then you may very well have some players post 2023 that might have their mindset on 2027 already. Yep. In reality, if we are building, barring maybe 7 players, all players should be 24 and under. That means you build for 2 cycles. Simon, who would be your 7 players over the age of 24 that you would keep in the senior team? Oh, Tiffany, I remember your comment as well in relation to the men's team. Better, healthier relationships with PICO, the passport office, to get this. This goes a far way. Mm-hmm. 7 players over the age of 24. Are you talking for the 2026 cycle? Well, in relation to the 2026 cycle, 7 players over the age. I know a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, man, Simon goes to Mariapa. I'd love Gold Cup 2023 to be Adrian Mariapa's send off, so to speak. But listen, if he's still a quality defender post 2023, I'm not going to tell him to hang up the boots. Me? Tell him to hang up the boots. No, sir. I'm not do that. Andre Blake is one. Daniel Johnson is another. And the Aarons, Jamar Nicholson, Leon Bailey is another. For the next cycle, by then, Norman Campbell will be 24, 25, so you put him in that bracket as well. And Stuart 6, 7. Yeah, more. Jerome says, bless up. Focus should be players under the age of 26 with a mixture of a few seniors. I can accept that. I can truly understand and accept that. You want to have that young base, and there are young players too, for people for this squad and everything to mesh into. I get that. I do. But you do need some experience as well. I want to make that clear. We just can't have a squad of 21, 22-year-olds. I'm not in agreement with that at all. So That's how I feel about the matter. Simon, did I miss anything about Demarai Gray? Team manager of the Reggae Boys, Roy Simpson, says the application for this has not been submitted. 100 people watching the stream, and we will talk about Paul Hall. What is the deal on Paul Hall? Yep, so share the link with your family and friends. So already says great start to a new season. Keep it up and good. Anything on Curtis Jones? Put it this way. He wants to be on the plane to Qatar or England. Big up Jay Dice. Big up Blair Video. Ray Nick, Romario, Prince Kavon. It's a pleasure to see you all. Making the world a better place. Good morning. Not sure if that is a man or a woman, but good morning. Good morning to you all. Really, really appreciate it. And let us look at something right here. We should do it. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is the squad. Right? So, the squad list for Austria. Yeah, regarding Demarai Gray, I know, I understand what you mean. It can be like, oh my word, what's going on here? And guys, give me your thoughts about the lighting. Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Let me know. Or is that better? Yeah. Yeah. Is Shamar Nicholson on the move? And why has he been getting much playing time? No, he's not on the move at this point in time. He has to work hard to get back his spots. But no, he's not on the move. He's not on the move, no. Simon, what's your take on Ravel finally getting to play in the States, something that the JFF couldn't achieve? When you have persons around you that can handle the intricacies of certain things, it makes the job a bit more easier. So credit to DC United, Ravel Morrison's agent, Wayne Rooney, for making this deal a reality. And he's going to absolutely light up Major League Soccer. I know he is. And you all are aware of his ability tremendously. You all know what he's capable of doing. So that for certain is something for you to really, really mesh into. I don't think Demari really wanted to come. Yeah. And it's something I've said before, and I'll say this again. I hope you don't mind You're doing this, and I'll repeat it. Oh yeah, that's Tiffany Cameron's jersey. Yeah. Yeah. So, as I've said, if somebody doesn't want to be in your life, let them go. That girlfriend, that young lady that you're talking to, but she just doesn't seem interested as you, let them go. If Demarai Gray doesn't want to come, let him go. Isaac Hayden wants to wait in England, okay, let him go. Let's have a conversation when he's 28, 29, and let's see then. Let's see. Let's see. I'm curious how none of the players from the under-20 tournament are in the squad, both local and international, since you're talking about development. Well, it goes to show, my friend, that the consistency in selection is something, a conversation that will continuously happen, you know? So, yeah. So, yeah. Any word on Taylor Hines for the Reggae Girls? I'll work on that and let you know what's the situation with her. No, C Sports, don't say that. Don't say that. You all are aware that you have the Sundays where you have Mr. Leeds United speak, and I respond. So, nothing for you to be worried about. So, let us share a screen again, and we can look at the squad, and you all can give me your 2 cents about it as well. How does that sound? Does that sound good? Well, I'm confident you all will won't have a problem with it. So, feast your eyes on it and give me your thoughts. Which name would get you excited? Well, you all know who it is for me. It's none other than Giovanni Brown. Yes, Giovanni Brown. The same Giovanni Brown that represented Jamaica at the Under-17 FIFA World Cup in Mexico in 2011. The same Giovanni Brown that started that game against Japan with Anthony Walker up top and Jason Wright. The same Giovanni Brown that was here for the CONCACAF Under-17 Championship of 2011. That same Giovanni Brown. That same Giovanni Brown that was at Colchester United. The same Giovanni Brown that is now playing with Exeter in League One. I know his brother. I know his brother is really excited for him. I know Giovanni Brown's brother. His brother works at the Pegasus Hotel. Yeah, and he's just really excited for him. Them favor too, Not a lot of brothers look alike, but them two, them and them favor. Yeah, I've been aware of Giovanni's movement from years at MK Dons. Peterborough attract that journey. I was a bit concerned during his time at Stamford, but to see him come into his own at Cambridge United, yeah, that gave me, you could say, a lot of enthusiasm. I see him get the EFL League Two Player of the Month a couple of years back. I said, all right, keep this going. You're 27, so keep on pushing. You know? So yeah. Training says that Malik Foster needs a recall. Interesting. I give that some thoughts. Yeah, that's something that would have to be considered at some point too. So why wait so long to call up Brown to the senior side when he's 27? Thank you, my friend. Because if we were thinking about development, Giovanni would have transitioned to the under-20 team 2 years later for that tournament, I believe, in Panama. No, for the under-20 tournament that was hosted in Mexico. And then after that, being part of the senior program, Fred Schaefer had him on a database, but he just wasn't at the top of that database. So when will the JPL restart? The JPL is expected to restart in September. We're now in the middle of August, so we await things and hopefully things work out. And the league is up and running quite soon, that's the hope. Simon, what's your take on the under-20 goalkeeper? I think he has a great future. Are you talking about Boyce? My eyes, he should be in the senior team right now, not playing in the 11, but being part of the squad. And I know it's somebody that Warren Barrett would love to work with. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. It's somebody that will be worked with. So. Yeah. Any other questions you guys are more than happy to raise in the comments as well. Joe Bird says, what do you think about King? Richard King. I think he looks very, very good in a back three. In a back four, I think it's going to take some time, but Richard King certainly is the real deal. What I want him to do is continue to stay grounded, focused, driven. If he can keep all of that together, he can play in Europe. He can. But I don't want him to get distracted. We've talked about centre halves in the past, born in this country, that have not been able to transition. But can he be in the conversation of the Claude Davis, Damien Stewart one day, and be the next centre half to ply their trade in England? Absolutely. Absolutely. But guess what? This young man needs to stay grounded. We do. Of course, I'm 100% in favor of the second division. If I'm being frank with you, I believe that I think our system should mirror the one of England, where we have our national Premier League, we have a championship, we have a League One, we have a League Two, and anything below that would be semi-professional or amateur. That's what I think. That's something that I think is needed. And you might say, we talk about the money and this and that, but even in the English Premier League, which has all the riches of this world, what is the name of Arsenal Stadium? The Emirates. What is the name of Manchester City Stadium? The Etihad. What was the name of Newcastle United Stadium from 2012 to around 2015, 16? Sports Direct Arena. What was the name of Stoke City Stadium? Betfair 365. What was the name of Bolton Wanderers Stadium? The Reebok. Do you get where I'm going with this? I see no issue. No issue at all. If Arnott Gardens Football Club wants to rename the Anthony Spaulding Sports Complex to the NCB Sports Complex, I see no problem with that. You monetize the stadiums, you have an additional bulk of revenue that you can pay players, sign players, recruit better, improve playing conditions, improve the services, improve the general administration, and give the club a facelift, improve the stands that have been around since the 70s. That is something that needs to be considered. So, yeah. So, you all asked about Luke Badley Morgan. Moved up to the under 21s. And guess what? A loan deal to a championship club is imminent. Maybe not now, but January, it's tremendously possible. He needs to work on his mental part of his game because he has no speed. That has to be considered. I'll take that. Yeah, it does. Yeah, the mental part is important. Good morning. How are you doing, Dre? I hope you are doing well. Have a great day. Okay. Lushan Black says, is Nico Williams eligible to play for Jamaica? So, he's already represented Wales at the senior level in a number of games, so he's no longer eligible to represent Jamaica. But yes, his father's side has Jamaican heritage. I believe it is grandparents or great grandparents, one of the two, but on his father's side. Yeah. Yeah. Simon, you see now Shamar Nicholson moved to Moscow was a mistake, a very big mistake. He should have stayed in Belgium and looked to move. I said when he moved that many people interpret it as a sideways movement. And my thoughts on the matter was one more year. One more year in Belgium, and who knows, England might come up, but I don't think you can turn down an opportunity that is lucrative. And he did what he did. Learned another culture, learning another language. Do I expect to see him in Russia the next 5 years? No. Nope. Not at all. Do you have an update on Paul Hall? Says Zaba HD. 100 people in the chat, and I will get to that. Yes. If 100 people watch this live, then I will do that. 100 people. 100. So, yeah. Umzo, good morning. How are you doing? So, 100 people. So, tell your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your best friend, your girlfriend, your wife, your dog, your grandma. Tell them, they hop on, Is it? Cool breeze. Good morning, Marvin Ferron. I hope you are doing well. I say we should have a two-tier professional league, then the rest play in the conference semi-pro league. That way the resources can be consolidated and not stretched wide and thin like it is now. You know, Jerome, I think your idea is a bit more realistic than mine. It's a bit more realistic, yeah. It would be a stretch to have four leagues professional, but certainly a Premier League and a First Division. Yeah, that's realistic. And of course, just below that, you give people something to fight towards. So even if they're not in the National Premier League, then the First Division is definitely something within grasp, within reach, that they know that they're on the cusp of the top, or they're going to be able to get a salary that is sufficient for them and their family. But to get 50,000 Jamaican a month, 30,000 Jamaican a month as a salary for a Premier League club, to be quite frank with you, is absolutely outrageous. How can you pay footballers 30,000 Jamaican dollars a month? That is well said. Well said, Corey. Well said, Corey Tomlinson. I have to agree with you there. No qualms there at all. Chelsea Football Club, do they have a new owner? They have many owners, you know. It's and you have certain owners have like a 2% share in the club or 1% share, but that's still plenty of money. Simon, Paul Hall will not be the coach. Are you telling me? Or are you asking me? 100, 100 people in the chat. And I'll tell you. The championship top prize says, "Hey Simon, when will Rupert be back from injury?" Rupert? Rupert's my middle name. EPL has sponsors. The rest of the league has sponsors. Championship, League One, League Two, even the National League, the semi-pro leagues, they have sponsors too. It might not be as lucrative as the Premier League, but they do even have TV deals. 30,000 Jamaican dollars cannot buy groceries. Just let that sink in. You cannot go into the supermarket with 30,000 Jamaican dollars and say, yeah, this is my monthly grocery bill. You pick up a pack of Frankfurter sausage, that's $1,000 right there. You pick up a cereal, that's $1,000 right there. You pick up milk, two milk, that's $1,000 right there. You pick up cheese, that's $1,000 right there. You pick up orange juice, that's $1,000 right there. You pick up rice, $1,000 right there. So you pick up 10 items, and with tax, it gone up to 30,000. And of course, as you know, with the gas and the rise in gas prices, it's challenging, isn't it? The JFF needs to have a criteria of how clubs should be structured and how clubs are to be managed. To be honest with you, JFF doesn't have any say in relation to how clubs should do their business in terms of structure. Fine, of how they should, operate in a generic sense, but they can't tell Arnett Gardens, buy that player, or you're supposed to ensure, say, a squad of 50 players or anything. That's not their responsibility. That's for the PFJL, not for the JFF. DJ Beneteau coming all the way from Fort Lauderdale. What's going on? Hope you're doing well, man. Lewis Baker scored again over the weekend. Any news on his recruiting by Paul Hall? Do you think Frank Lampard can solve my club Everton's problems? Corey. Commiserations. Because Everton Football Club do not deserve the pile of mess that they're in right now. They don't. They don't. Bill Kenwright deserves some good blame, and so do the managers from Roberto Martinez deserve it. Everton are the fourth most successful club in all of England. How did they descend to this standard of mediocrity? It's an absolute disgrace. This is Everton fighting their lives to avoid relegation last year. That is an absolute crime. It would be a crime to see Everton be relegated from the Premier League. An absolute crime. That's something that should never, ever happen. Everton are the people's club, the pride of Merseyside. I know Liverpool fans might not like to hear that, but Everton Football Club are the people's club. And to answer your question, no, Frank Lampard is not the man for the job. Is Duncan Ferguson the man for the job? Maybe not. But guess what? Can he renew some form of enthusiasm and life and vigor? He has the ability to do so. Casanova, no. All of them, yes. C Sports says 30,000 for JPS water bill internet. Yeah. That's how the money is done. So when you pay a football and the Jamaica Premier League that amount, boy. 35 grand can buy groceries for you alone, but some of these ballers have more than one motorful. That is true. Some of them are married, some of them have a child or two or more. Or they're still taking care of their mother or father or grandmother. Lampard to be sacked before World Cup? No. Simon, until Jamaica have a local based squad, I don't think we'll see a World Cup. I disagree. I think we've shown evidence that even if it's not a local based squad, that we can achieve success, meaning namely the Gold Cup coming second, 2015. You think about the semi-final run that we've had, 2017. 2017, we got to the final, beating top teams. I don't think that it has to be a predominantly local base. I do believe you need Jamaican born players in the squad, absolutely. I'm not saying there shouldn't be. I'm just saying that the bulk of the squad, 90% of the squad, it doesn't have to be playing. I guess we'll have to make that clarification. Local base, I don't think in the sense of playing in the Jamaica Premier League. But if you're talking about Jamaican born players that play in the trade in MLS or England, then fine. Fine, I can live with that. Is there going to be a women's league? Yeah. Remember, man, remember about Ethan Pinnock. Know where yourself, man. Yeah, you know, if I'm gonna be completely frank and honest with you guys, the last time. that I watched a Manchester United game, and I'm talking about 90 minutes. You know the last time I watched a Manchester United game? Try guess. Last time that I watched a Manchester United game from start to finish. Let me see if you know. Well, last time that I watched a Manchester United game from start to finish was January 22, 2022. Manchester United won. West Ham United won. Well, United will finish somewhere between 1st and 20th. Warren Webster, how are you? I'm good. Eddie Gooner. All right. So, Coach Busby. There's still some I's to dot and some T's to cross. But of course, Coach Busby would love to return to the program. He would love to. Remember, he was key behind the recruitment of Paige Bailey Gale and others, and started the conversation with Lauren James. Lauren Donaldson has not had a conversation with Lauren James. So, yeah, that's the situation there. But would Hubert Busby be open to the role of coaching Jamaica in the future? I'm pretty sure he would be. Yeah. Ryan Wayne, how are you doing, sir? Hope you're doing good. Training camp for the senior team? Well, put it this way. I'll bring the squad on the screen for you guys so you guys can see what I'm seeing, and then take it from there. So, yeah. So, take a moment and think about this squad. Think about it. Look at the 27 names. And think about this. Is this the best we have to offer on the island? Is it? Tell me. Is it not? How do you feel? 100 people in the chat, and we go in a live and Paul Hall update. Welcome. Trayvon Reed is in the mix. That's something to be excited about. Dwayne Busy Atkinson got his chance, and now it's the time for Trayvon Reed to step forward. So that's something to look at. Nicholas Hamilton, from Cavalier to Scotland to Canada to Harborview. What a journey this man has been on. He's in the mix. He's there. Click based on what I'm hearing, Mason Greenwood will not play for Manchester United anymore. Outer East, Gaza Dre, one done. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Duckland Stennett says good morning. Nathan Morgan says morning, morning, morning. If I'm being completely honest with you, the squad for me is at best 5 out of 10. Yes, Marvin, I'm fully aware of Brandon. Brandon is being pushed towards the Ghana side to represent, the depth of Ghana program at this point in time. I just don't see representing Ghana. So and also big up Eco Weeks. Much appreciated there in the comments. Good morning to you. Yeah, so I understand. Squad, you look at it and you're like, well, it's their opportunity. In many circles, the public has cried for local players to be given an opportunity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 players in the Jamaica Premier League. You're going to play Morocco. You're going to play Ghana. You're going to play Qatar. You're going to play a team that are the Asian champions, and you're going to play two teams that have won the Africa Cup of Nations in the past. So, go out there and show what you got. Show us exactly what you made of. You want your opportunity? Here, take it. Show us. Because this is what people want to see. This is what the public wants to see. Opportunities being given to local based players. So, this is the chance. 3 games. Go out there, hold up your hand, and say, I want to play for Jamaica moving forward. So go out there, deliver, work hard, put in your 110%, and I was to know. I was to how you do. Take it from there, right? How does that sound? Am I wrong or am I right? Yeah, Marvin, I understand what you mean. It's somebody that has to be close for sure. And Eddie, I'm aware the standard of the league has a lot of room for improvement. But one day at a time, my friend. One day at a time. That's all we can take it from here. You know what I mean? It's not going to get to a high standard overnight. And I'm not sure that's the standard that a lot of fans are expecting. What sort of standard do you want? Do you think there's a chance one day of a Jamaican club winning the CONCACAF Champions League? Do I personally think that's possible? No, I don't. I don't think that's realistic. The MLS clubs, the Mexican clubs, have a far bigger budget to work with. And of course, when you incorporate financial doping, they're going to have the best of the best players. Puerto Rico Islanders in 2009 was a Cinderella run thanks to Jamaican Nicholas Adler doing some fantastic things. That was the key to that. That was the reason why everything just meshed, clicked together. Mhm. Interesting. Last time with a JFL defense we lost 16 to consider. Look, once done it. We have all seen this before. We assemble a local based team who got smashed and embarrassed, and then the uproar. Look, one, I've always been an advocate of giving opportunities where opportunities are given for you. What I will say though is that I don't think it's fair for people to say, oh, and when the English player them come this time and that time and this time, the JFF has a role to play as well to ensure that the passports are received and we don't give players debut in a World Cup qualifier, in a Gold Cup. Michael Hector got his debut for Jamaica in Copa America. Michael Hector has played more competitive games for Jamaica than friendlies. Okay, guys, I'm not sure what's happening with the audio, but I do hope that you're hearing me. I really, really hope that you guys are hearing me. But this is also standard will improve when it becomes a pro league. People get good salary and keep on to our better plans. Hmm. Yes, everyone. Do you all have any other questions that you'd like to ask? Do drop them in the comments. We will conclude this live and share with you guys an interesting. I'm not sure what's going on with the audio. Is the audio better? Hopefully the audio is better. Hello, 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 hello. This is the audio. Where did the audio go? The audio is better, then just thumbs up if the audio is better. Alright guys. Is Paul Hall still our head coach? Thank you, Giovanni. Salford. Salford plays in League Two. Salford City FC plays in League Two, owned by Project 92. So Project 92 Limited, as you know, is the team of Peter Lim, Scholesy, Nicky Butts, Ranking, Specs, etc. etc. So, Rainbow fans, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I'm not sure what's happening with the audio, but hopefully it improves. So, things will get better over time. It just requires a bit of patience. And I'm happy that you all were here to tune into this video. So, Reggae Boys, Reggae Girls fans, what are your thoughts? Yeah, I guess it is. It looks like we're back. Hopefully you all can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Good. Can you expound on the word of Fitzroy Simpson? Fitzroy Simpson. Yes. Quite simply, the agent of Oregon Boys fans, this is where we blow the final whistle for now. Demarai Gray. Demarai Gray's application for this has not started. That's all. So, Oregon Boys, Oregon Girls fans, what are your thoughts? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You know, don't forget to subscribe to Oregon Boys